Welcome to Shanti Peaceful Mathematics. In this video, we are going to discuss the radius of curvature for the polar curve. Ultimately, we are trying to prove that the radius of curvature for the polar equation r equal to f of theta is given by rho equal to r square plus r1 square raised to 3 by 2 upon r square plus 2r1 square minus r into r2, where this r1 is nothing but the dr by d theta and r2 will be d square r by d theta square. That is the second order derivative of r with respect to theta. So to prove this one, the radius of curvature for the polar curve r is equal to f of theta is this. We require have a curve. Let us consider this is the initial line, that is, we can say it is OX axis, and there is a curve r is equal to f of theta in this polar coordinate system. Let us consider there is a point P which is on this curve and its coordinates are P of r theta, and there is a point Q which is the neighboring point of this point P, which coordinates are r plus delta r and theta plus delta theta. So as per the coordinate system, the distance from the origin to this point P is, we know it is r, and this angle is theta. And from this point, that is origin to this point Q, this distance is r plus delta r, and this is the extra angle is there, that is delta theta. Now let us draw a perpendicular from this P onto OQ, and we say that that perpendicular intersecting point will be M. So this is, I have drawn a perpendicular to that. Now in the triangle, so I am just looking at the triangle OMP. That is OMP, this is the 90-degree angle. We can say that MP will be R sin delta theta and OM is R cos theta. That is by a formula sin theta is equal to, or sin delta theta is equal to, angle delta theta is this angle, so it is opposite side upon hypotenuse, that is your r, so it is opposite side, that is MP upon OP. OP, well, MP is, we have denoted as it is, MP is r, so that's why MP is equal to r sin delta theta, and for cos delta theta, according to that, it is the adjacent upon hypotenuse. So adjacent is OM upon hypotenuse, that is OP. So that's why it is OM is equal to R cos delta theta. So this MQ, so let us do it, that is in the next slide, that is OQ into the this, that is OM plus MQ, OM plus MQ. So therefore MQ you will have it is OQ minus OM. What is OQ? That we have, it is R plus delta R, that is your OQ, and OM, that is R cos theta, that we have just derived. OM is R cos delta theta. So therefore this is delta R plus R into 1 minus cos delta theta. So therefore delta r plus r 1 minus cos delta theta we can write as 2 times sin square delta theta by 2. Now again we will go to the previous figure. If I make this angle, that is MQP will be alpha if I denote it. Then in this figure, that is the angle MQP, the angle QP is equal to alpha. So tan alpha, that we know it is opposite upon adjacent. So opposite side is MP and adjacent side is MQ. So therefore, the tan alpha is MP upon MQ. In the previously we have denoted MP is R sine delta theta. So that's why it is R sine delta theta. Upon MQ we have calculated just now, that is delta R plus 2R sine square delta theta by 2. Now if I take this limit Q tends to P, that means delta theta will tends to 0. So in that thing that we are taking, this point is coming near to this point P. So this delta theta will tending to 0. And this chord, actually this chord PQ turns out to be a point P, and that will become a tangent at that point. So we'll have the tangent here. This chord will become a tangent now, and that tangent will make in this manner at the point P. And I'm calling this is the making the angle. This angle I'm just saying it is a phi. Taking this angle is a phi. So this actually, when this Q is tending to P, this alpha angle is making angle is phi. So alpha is tending to phi. So this is the situation we got. As Q is tending to P, this delta theta will tend to 0, and according to that, that's alpha will tending to phi. So hence we get tan phi will be limit of Q tends to P tan alpha, and hence we have Q tends to P, which we can write down as delta theta tends to 0. If I want to write down in the expression of the delta theta, so that's why this is limit delta theta tends to 0, and tan alpha we have calculated in here, that is R sine delta theta upon this thing. So let us write down, that is R sine delta theta upon delta R plus 2R sine square delta theta by 2. And if I divide by delta theta in the numerator and the denominator, then this will gives you R into sine delta theta upon delta theta, delta R upon delta theta plus 2R into sine square delta theta by 2 upon delta theta. This 2 I am taking here, and due to the square I just write down one more del sine theta by 2 here. So we'll have, this is the expression, and you know that limit of sine x upon x as x tends to 0 will be 1. So this will goes to 1, this will goes to 1, this will goes to 0, and this is nothing but dr by d theta. R is staying there, so that's why we have R upon, this is tending to 0, so this whole quantity will become 0. Here you will have dr upon d theta, so that I can write down R into d theta by dr. That is the value of tan phi. So tan phi, what is phi? Let us recall that phi is making this angle. Now what is the radius of curvature? The radius of curvature is nothing but the rate of change of tangent. So at the point P, let us consider this is the making the angle xi. The tangent is making the angle xi. So now the property of this triangle, this xi is nothing but the theta plus phi, because this is the exterior angle of this triangle. So the theta plus phi is nothing but the xi. So that's why we can have, we know that xi is equal to theta plus phi. So if I differentiate this with respect to s, we will have it as 1 upon rho, that is nothing but the d xi by ds, which is our curvature. And so radius of curvature is the reciprocal of that. So d psi by ds is the curvature, that is d theta by ds plus d phi by ds. Now here I am using the chain rule, that is d theta by ds plus d phi by d theta into d theta by ds, and this d theta by ds is I take common, so that's why it is 1 plus d phi by d theta. And in the previously just we have proved that the tan phi is r into d theta by dr, that we have just proved that. So that is r upon r1 we can write down. So phi will be tan inverse of r upon r1, where r1 is, we already denoted, is dr by d theta. So therefore this d theta by d phi we can calculate from this, and r is already a function of theta because r is equal to f of theta we already have. So we can calculate what is d phi by d theta. So hence d phi by d theta will be d by d theta of tan inverse of r upon r1, which we can write down 1 upon 1 plus r upon r1 square into derivative of r upon r1, so that the division rule will apply. So it is r1 square, the denominator square, r1 as it is. The derivative of r is r1 minus r as it is, derivative of r1 will be r2. And if you then simplify this r1 square will go in the numerator and that cancel with this. So finally we'll have it is r1 square minus r into r2 upon r square plus r1 square, that is the quantity left. And this is nothing but the d phi by d theta. On the other side, we have to calculate what is d theta by ds, but what is s as the parameter? So parameter s we know that it is ds by d theta will be square root of r square plus r1 square. That you can just, for now we just note that the ds, that is a parameter which we can write down in this form, r plus r1 square. And if you substitute both this value into the previous formula, that is this, we can have 1 upon curvature, that is the radius of curvature altogether. So it is, according to the formula, it is d theta by ds into 1 plus d phi by d theta. So that is 1 upon square root of r square into r1 square, 1 plus r1 square minus r into r2 upon r square into r1 square. So if you take the LCM here, we will have r square into r1 square plus r1 square minus r into r2 upon r square plus r1 square raised to 1, and that raised to 1 by 2, so altogether it is 3 by 2. So finally we will have r square plus 2 r1 square minus r into r2 upon r square plus r1 square raised to 3 by 2. So therefore the rho equal to r square plus r1 square raised to 3 by 2 upon r square plus 2 r1 square minus r into r2. So that is the radius of curvature into the polar form, that is the required formula is there. Let us solve one example based on that. So the question is to find out the radius of curvature for the curve r is equal to a into 1 minus cos theta. So you know that the formula is rho equal to r plus r1 square raised to 3 by 2 upon r square plus r1 square raised to 3 by 2 upon r square plus 2 r1 square minus r into r2. Now r1 is the derivative of r with respect to theta, r2 is the second derivative. Let us calculate both of the value here and substitute here. That is the way we have to do it. So r1 is equal to minus plus sine theta and into a is already there. So and r2 you will have it is a cos theta, and if you substitute this value here, so I need to calculate what is r square plus r1 square. So r square is a square 1 minus cos theta square plus r1 square, it is a square sine square theta And if you simplify this quantity, this is a square is common out to 1 minus 2 cos theta plus cos square theta plus sin square theta, and 1 cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1. So this will give you a square 2 into 2 minus cos theta. So this is 2a square 1 minus cos theta, and the denominator that we have it is r square minus r into r2 plus 2r1 square. So r square is the square of this, that will be a square 1 minus cos theta square minus r, that is a into 1 minus cos theta, into r2, that is a square, here it is into cos theta, plus 2 times r1 square, that is a square sin square theta. And if you simplify this, then you will left with a square 1 minus cos theta. If I substitute all this value into the row, that is r square into r1 square raised to 3 by 2 upon r square minus 2 r1 square plus minus r2, that is equal to 2 into square root of 2a cube 1 minus cos theta raised to 3 by 2. That is by putting the value this there, and the denominator we have this, that is 3 into a square 1 minus cos theta. And if you can simplify this, this is 2 into 2 into square root of 2 upon 3a. This will give you 1 minus cos theta raised to 1 by 2, and the 1 minus cos theta raised to 1 by 2. I think this is the function given is r equal to a into 1 minus cos theta. So according to this function, this is nothing but the 2 raised to root 2 by 3 a into r upon a raised to 1 by 2. And so we can say that this is nothing but the versus this quantity is actually proportional to square root of r. So the radius of curvature for this curve is proportional to square root of r. In this video, we have discussed about the radius of curvature for the polar coordinates, and we have solved based on that one example. That's it for this video. If you like this video, please press the like button. If you have any comment, suggestion or question, please drop down in the comment box below. See you in next video. Till then, bye bye. Sayonara.